Welcome everyone to a new episode of The Beginning After the End. Yes guys, finally season 2 has arrived, and in today's video, we are going to explain season 2 episode 1. Alright, let's begin the episode. The episode starts with us being shown King Grey. His army was sitting in front of him. King Grey begins to speak, saying, "I used to be the most powerful king in my world." We are also shown how King Grey dropped bombs and other explosives on the entire city, completely destroying it, which caused many people to lose their lives. King Grey says, "I had committed a lot of sins in my previous life. Still, God gave me another life." The scene now shifts to the present, where we are shown Arthur. Jasmine comes to him and tells him that they have to go for another quest. So Arthur gets up, puts on his mask, and gets ready to go with her. After that, they take a horse carriage and reach a certain location. Jasmine starts explaining the details of this quest to Arthur. She tells him that there is a village near the Beast Glade, but suddenly, all contact with the village has been lost. That's why we have been sent to investigate. But you know what our highest priority should be, right? Arthur replies, "Yes, we have to prioritize our own lives." Jasmine says, "Correct answer." She then asks, "By the way, if an aggressive beast appears in front of you, what will you do?" Arthur says, "Fighting any monsters is not included in this quest, so I won't fight it." Jasmine says, "Correct answer again." Then Arthur asks Sylvie, "What are you going to do?" She replies, "I'll go around and do some training." After that, she wishes Arthur good luck and leaves. Afterwards, Arthur and Jasmine start heading towards the village. But they notice that there are a lot of footprints going towards the village, while very few footprints are going out of the village. So they quickly increase their speed and enter the village through the forest path. However, once inside the village, they notice that there is no one visible anywhere. Seeing this, Arthur says, "Could it be that some beast attacked them?" Jasmine replies, "I don't think so." After saying this, they spot some crystals in the area. As they go closer to check them, Arthur wonders, what are these crystals doing here? But as soon as he looks closely at one crystal, he is shocked because a person is trapped inside it. And not just that, there were many more crystals scattered throughout the village, with people trapped inside them. Suddenly, they see a girl from the village. She also gets shocked upon seeing them. Arthur approaches her and asks, "Can you tell us what happened here?" The girl says, "I don't know. I had gone into the forest to collect some herbs. When I came back, I saw everyone like this." After saying this, the girl starts crying heavily. Hearing her words and seeing the crystals, Arthur realizes that this is the work of a beast. Jasmine also agrees with him. But then Jasmine notices a thread-like thing attached to the girl's leg. She becomes alert and is about to cut the thread. Suddenly, the thread pulls the girl towards it. We find out that it is actually a spider's web created by a giant spider, and it has already caught the girl. The monster is about to eat the girl. Seeing this, Arthur rushes to stop it, but Jasmine stops him and says, "We can't go forward." At that moment, the monster uses the power of its eyes, and in an instant, the girl completely turns into crystal. Jasmine also panics upon seeing this and says, "We have to run from here." As they try to run, the spider attacks them. They dodge the attack and manage to escape. Seeing this, the spider also leaves. In the next scene, we are shown two people in a dark room, their faces hidden. One man says, "The alliance between the three kingdoms, humans, elves, and dwarves, looks like a very ideal arrangement from what we can see." The second person says, "All the events must keep flowing. Only then will it be fun." After saying this, that person starts using his power on the map. Specifically on the area where the Beast Glade is located, the place where many monsters live. As he uses his power, he begins to see many different people, such as Lucas, Elijah, Jasmine, and others. He says, "Whatever we're about to do, it's going to be quite tiring for us." Then, they also see Jasmine and Arthur. After this, the scene returns to the present. Arthur and Jasmine have run quite far away. Arthur asks, "What exactly was that monster?" Jasmine replies, "That was an arachne. It is one of the 5 beasts I never wanted to fight again." Hearing this, Arthur says, "That means you fought this monster before." She says, "Yes, 5 times, but I only managed to defeat it once. This monster is extremely powerful. It completely messed up our entire team's lineup. When we were fighting this monster, your parents were also there. Your mom, Alice, played a very important role in our victory because she has the power of an emitter, and only an emitter can break this monster's curse. But there is another way to break this monster's curse and free everyone from the crystals, and that is to kill the monster. The bad thing is that this monster has very high magic resistance, so most spells won't work on it. Moreover, its body is extremely tough. Our swords won't be able to do anything to it. Hearing this, Arthur says, "That means we can't defeat it." Jasmine replies, "Yes, but this monster doesn't like light, that is, sunlight. That's why it normally stays deep inside dungeons." After saying this, she adds, "The most important thing is that I have taught you everything about becoming an adventurer. I have also taught you how to fight even without a sword and sorcery. I have taught you how to survive. So, thinking about everything I've taught you, what do you think we should do now?" Arthur says, "We should go back and inform the guild about this. Once we are fully prepared, we will come back to save the village." Jasmine says, "Yes, you're right." As they are about to leave, the monster suddenly appears behind them and uses its crystal power on Arthur. Jasmine quickly pushes Arthur aside, but the attack hits her instead. Before fully turning into crystal, Jasmine tells Arthur to run away from there. She can't even complete her sentence before she completely turns into crystal. After defeating Jasmine, the spider now comes to fight Arthur. Seeing this, Arthur remembers that Jasmine had told him to run. But then he recalls how he always had to run away in his past life. He decides that he can't keep running anymore. As the spider attacks him, Arthur gets angry and prepares to fight. He blocks its attacks with his sword. While fighting, he remembers how he used to fight his enemies in his previous life. He thinks, "I used to be a king. Everyone knew me because I was the most powerful. One swing of my sword was enough to destroy my enemies." Arthur attacks the monster with his sword, but it has no effect. The spider tries to attack him again to turn him into crystal, but he barely dodges and counterattacks. Still, it does no damage. Then the monster knocks Arthur down. He uses a tree for support and thinks, "Just a sword won't work." He then infuses fire element into his sword and attacks. This time, the attack causes some minor damage, and fire covers the monster's body. However, the monster easily extinguishes the fire. Arthur then decides to use earth element. He brings up many spikes from under the spider, but it's still not enough. He then throws many large rocks at the monster, but again, little effect. The monster gets angry and launches a dangerous attack. Arthur dodges it and stabs his sword into the spot where he had hit the rocks earlier. He then uses lightning magic. This attack is very effective and extremely powerful. The monster collapses after taking the hit. Arthur checks if Jasmine has been freed, but she is still trapped in crystal, meaning the monster is still alive. The monster stands up again and tries to use its crystal power on Arthur. Just before the attack hits, Arthur stops time using Sylvie's power. He says to the monster, "Looks like you don't give up easily, but fighting you felt really good. You reminded me how I used to use my sword." After saying this, Arthur launches a series of powerful attacks, cuts the monster into pieces, and kills it. He then returns time to normal. However, because of controlling time, Arthur is completely exhausted. He realizes that he still has a long way to go and needs much more training if he wants to achieve his goals. With no strength left, Arthur collapses to the ground. At that moment, Sylvie falls onto his face and asks, "Is everything okay? You looked really angry for a while." Arthur replies, "Yeah, there was a little issue, but I solved it." Then he sees that Jasmine has woken up and is holding a knife. She is very angry with him and says, "Do you know that right now I can easily kill you?" She brings the knife very close to him. Arthur understands why she is angry. He apologizes and says, "Yes, I know you told me to run away, but I still fought the monster. I ignored your instructions and let my emotions take over." Jasmine says, "If you've understood that, then it's good. Looks like you exhausted yourself a lot." Arthur replies, "Yeah, this shows that I still need to become much stronger so I can protect the people I care about. If I had been stronger in the past, the people I cared about wouldn't have died. But it's okay. I can't change the past. I'll have to live this life with regrets." Here, Arthur is referring to not being able to save Sylvie in his previous life. Jasmine says, "I can understand what you're saying, But if something happens to you, your mom and everyone else will be devastated. So don't take risks for me like this. You fought the monster just to save me. You shouldn't have done that. Arthur replies, No, I will do it. I'll do it again and again because I care about you. Hearing this, Jasmine blushes a little, forgives him, and says, Thank you for saving me. Arthur says, No problem. Let's go collect the mana core of this monster. As they go to collect it, they see that Sylvie is already eating the mana core. They both get shocked. On the other side, we are shown the village scene where everyone has been freed from the crystals. The girl also reunites with her family. Arthur and Jasmine then leave and go to a restaurant where Elijah is also present. Arthur tells him that he fought an arachne. Hearing this, Elijah is shocked and says, You're really lucky to have come back alive. Arthur says, It's not like that. I just got lucky. At that moment, Lucas arrives, who is obviously jealous of Arthur. He says, Did you really defeat that monster? I don't think it's true because that monster never comes to the surface. You're just making up stories, right? Arthur asks, Then what should I do to make you believe me? Lucas says, If that's the case, show me the mana core of that monster. Arthur looks at Sylvie because she has already eaten the core, so he can't show it. He says, Sorry, but unfortunately we couldn't collect the mana core. Lucas says, Of course you couldn't. You never defeated that monster. Arthur gets a bit annoyed and takes out the monster's head from his dimensional ring and places it on the table. He asks, Is this proof enough? Everyone looks at the monster's eyes and realizes it is indeed the arachne. Lucas is also forced to believe it. Elijah tells Lucas, Now do you have anything to say? Lucas says to Arthur, Okay, looks like you're not lying. But I can also defeat such a mana beast. What's so great about it? Arthur replies sarcastically, Okay, if I need help next time, I'll call you. Lucas understands the sarcasm and leaves. Seeing all this, Elijah says, Lucas will never change. Arthur agrees. Yeah, you're right. Jasmine then tells Arthur, We should leave now. Elijah asks, Where are you guys going? Arthur replies, Home. In the next scene, we are shown that same floating city. What is the name of this city? You guys must tell me in the comment section. Let's see who gives the correct answer. Anyway, after that we see Arthur returning home. Eleanor sees him and happily hugs him. Ray, Arthur's father, says, I want to know what adventures you had. After all, you are the hero of our family. Arthur sits down and starts telling them about his adventure. He says he defeated an arachne. Hearing this, Eleanor becomes very happy, but Alice, Arthur's mom, becomes very worried. Ray also becomes happy and praises Arthur. Ray says to Jasmine, When we fought it, we had a lot of trouble. We were about to die 4 times. How did you manage to defeat it in just one try, Arthur? Arthur explains, That monster was very tough. So I focused all my attacks on one spot and thought that if I used magic inside it, it would work, and it did. Alice, however, is not happy at all. She tells Arthur and Jasmine to kneel down. They have to obey. Alice says, Looks like you both forgot the promise I made that you wouldn't do anything dangerous. Arthur says, I did make the promise, but for an adventurer, it's impossible for things not to be dangerous. Alice replies, I don't care. A promise is a promise. Arthur apologizes. Alice then gets angry at Jasmine too, saying, You were with him. How could you let him do this? Arachne is one of the 5 monsters. If you see it, you should run away. Did you forget that? Jasmine apologizes. Arthur tries to defend her, but Alice stops him and says she's not talking to him right now. Alice says, I let you go because you were insisting. Arthur and Jasmine taught you everything you needed to know, especially how to survive. That's why I allowed you to become an adventurer. But now I hear that you fought a dangerous monster like Arachne and even defeated it. What would have happened to me if something had happened to you? Saying this, Alice starts crying heavily. Ray tells Arthur, Next time, be careful. Do exactly what Jasmine says. Arthur agrees. Ray then asks Jasmine what they did with the monster. She says she already handed it over to the guild. Ray says he'll warn Helen and the others to be careful. Ray then tells Alice to cheer up. I agree what Arthur did was dangerous, but the amazing thing is that he came back safely to us. Hearing this, Alice's mood improves. She says, Yes, you're right. She then tells Arthur, Don't make me worry like this again. Arthur replies, Okay. In the next scene, Arthur comes outside with Jasmine for training. Jasmine tells him, Next time, don't trouble Alice again and again. Her anger is the scariest. Arthur agrees. They first fight with their hands, then with wooden swords. Jasmine says, Don't use magic, and I won't either. They start fighting, and both give each other a good competition. While fighting, Arthur thinks to himself, In my previous life, the only thing I lacked was that I never promised anyone that I would protect my life and stay safe. But in this world, I have made that promise to my parents. That means I can't become stronger by taking too many risks. So I need to become even stronger so that I can take risks without making my parents worry. This way, he can become truly powerful and protect his family forever. After the fight ends, Sylvie sits on Arthur's shoulder. Seeing him deep in thought, she asks, What are you thinking about? Arthur replies, I was wondering what Tessia is doing right now. In the next scene, we are shown Tessia running with her friend because a huge boulder is chasing them and is about to crush them. Tessia panics and says, Why didn't anyone warn me about this? Someone should have warned me. They jump to safety, barely escaping the boulder. And with this, the episode ends. So, I'll meet you guys in the next video. Until then, bye bye.